Ladies and gentlemen, today I am not here to tell you what to think. I am here to teach you how to think, because if you learn how to think correctly, you can solve any problem, overcome any obstacle, and create the future you want. Most people fail, not because they are not smart, not because they are not hardworking, but because they think in the wrong way. Success is not about talent, it's about mindset. The world is full of problems everywhere you look. People are complaining about their jobs, their salaries, their governments, their families, and even their luck. But let me tell you something, complaining will never change your life. Complaining is easy. Anyone can sit down and say, life is unfair, the system is broken, I didn't get the opportunities that others did. But what does that achieve? Nothing. Complaining only wastes your time, drains your energy, and keeps you stuck exactly where you are. The real winners in life are not the ones who complain about problems. They are the ones who solve them. If you see something is broken, fix it. If you don't like your situation, change it. If you can't change it immediately, start working toward a solution instead of dwelling on what's wrong. Every great company, every successful person, and every groundbreaking invention was born out of someone seeing a problem and deciding to create a solution instead of sitting around and complaining about it. Think about it. Facebook wasn't created because Mark Zuckerberg sat in his dorm room complaining about how difficult it was to stay connected with friends. He built something. Airbnb wasn't born because its founders were whining about expensive hotel prices. They came up with an idea, took action, and created a new way for people to travel. The biggest businesses today started from a simple decision. Stop focusing on the problem and start creating a solution. The truth is, life is unfair. Some people are born into rich families, while others have to struggle for every opportunity. Some people have powerful connections, while others have to build everything from scratch. That is reality. But here's the secret. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who start with the most resources. They are the ones who refuse to waste their time complaining about what they lack, and instead focus on what they can do. Next time you catch yourself complaining, ask yourself, what can I do about this? Even if it's a small step, even if the odds are against you, taking action will always be more powerful than complaining. A negative mindset will only hold you back, but a creative mindset can change. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who refuse to let those challenges define them. If you want to change your life, stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems. The government won't save you. Your boss won't suddenly double your salary. The world will not suddenly become fair, but you have the power to do something. So stop complaining, start creating, and take control of your future. The moment you shift your focus from problems to solutions, you will see opportunities everywhere. And that is the mindset that leads to true success. Most people want success, but very few are willing to wait for it. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm. People want fast money, quick results, and overnight fame. But the reality is, nothing truly great happens in a short time. Every successful person, every great company, every meaningful achievement is built over years of patience, persistence, and long-term vision. Look at the world's biggest companies today, Apple, Amazon, Tesla. Do you think they became giants overnight? No, they were built with a mindset that looked far beyond immediate profits. When Amazon started, it was just an online bookstore. For years, it barely made a profit. Many investors doubted its potential, and people laughed at the idea of buying things online. But Jeff Bezos wasn't thinking about the next few months. He was thinking about the next few years. He focused on building the best customer experience, reinvesting profits, and growing step by step. Today, Amazon is one of the most valuable companies in the world. On the other hand, most people only think about today. They want jobs that pay well. Now, not realizing that learning a skill that pays little today might make them millionaires in the future, they want investments that bring quick returns. Not understanding the true wealth is built through patience. They want to start a business and see profits immediately. But when they don't, they quit too soon. This is why so many people never reach their full potential, because they are too focused on short-term results. If you only think about today, you will always be chasing temporary satisfaction. You will take the easiest job instead of the one that teaches you the most. You will spend your money instead of investing it. You will avoid difficult challenges because they don't give instant rewards, but success doesn't work that way. The most valuable things in life, wealth, knowledge, skills, relationships, and reputation take time to build. Think about farmers. They plant seeds, water them, and wait for months before they see any results. They don't dig up the soil every day to check if the seed has grown. They trust the process, but many people in life do the opposite. They start something, and if they don't see immediate results, they quit. They switch jobs too soon, give up on businesses too early, or abandon skills before they master them. The truth is, the difference between success and failure is patience. If you are willing to think long-term, you will make better decisions. You won't waste time chasing quick money. You will build something that lasts. You won't be discouraged by small failures because you know they're just steps in a bigger journey. You won't compare yourself to others because you are focused on your own growth. So ask yourself, where do you want to be in 5 years? In 10 years, if you don't have an answer, you are already losing. The people who succeed are the ones who play the long game. They invest in themselves, develop valuable skills, build strong relationships, and stay committed. Even when things are slow, you have two choices in life. You can either think short-term and keep restarting from zero, or you can think long-term and build something meaningful. The people who succeed are not always the smartest or the luckiest. They are simply the ones who have the patience to see things through. Failure is something most people fear. They avoid it, they run from it, and when it happens, they feel defeated. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, and every person who has achieved something remarkable has failed many times before reaching their goals. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people learn from failure while others let it stop them. When you fail, you have two choices. You can see it as proof that you are not good enough, or you can see it as a lesson that makes you better. Most people choose the first option. They fail once and they decide that they are not smart enough, not talented enough, or not lucky enough. They give up too soon because they think failure is a sign to stop. The truth is, failure is just feedback. It is life's way of teaching you what works and what doesn't. If you never fail, it means you are not trying hard enough. Look at some of the most successful people in history. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When people asked him why he didn't give up, he said, "I have not failed 1,000 times. I have simply found 1,000 ways that don't work." Imagine if he had stopped after the first 10 or even 100 failures. Our world would be a very different place. The same story repeats in business. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he founded. He could have given up and disappeared, but instead he used the failure as motivation. He started new companies, learned new lessons, and eventually returned to Apple, turning it into one of the most successful companies in history. If Jobs had feared failure, there would be no iPhone, no iPad, and no Apple as we know it today. The problem is that most people see failure as something to be ashamed of. Society teaches us that failing means we are not good enough. In school, we are punished for making mistakes instead of being taught to learn from them. In work, we are told to play it safe and avoid risks, but the reality is the most successful people are the ones who take the biggest risk and fail the most times. If you want to grow, you must change the way you see failure. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask yourself, "Well, what will I learn if I fail?" Every time something doesn't work out, you are learning valuable lessons that will help you do better next time. Failure is simply a stepping stone towards success. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times, but they don't stop trying. They don't think, maybe walking is not for me. They get up and try again until one day they walk effortlessly. But as we grow older, we lose this mindset. We start to fear looking foolish, making mistakes, or being judged. And because of this fear, we stop trying. We stop taking risks. We stay in our comfort zones, never realizing our full potential. But here's the truth. If you never fail, you will never grow. If you are always comfortable, you are not pushing yourself hard enough. Success is built on failure, not on perfection. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you become. So embrace failure, take risks, try new things, and when you fail, don't see it as the end. See it as a beginning. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who never stop learning from their failures. The people you surround yourself with will shape your future more than you realize. If you spend your time with negative, lazy, or unmotivated people, their mindset will slowly become yours. If you surround yourself with ambitious, hardworking, and positive people, they will push you to become better. Your environment is stronger than your willpower, and no matter how talented or intelligent you are, the wrong people can drag you down while the right people can lift you up. Think about this. If you are in a room with 5 successful people, you will likely become the 6th. But if you are constantly surrounded by 5 people who always complain, make excuses, and do nothing to improve their lives, chances are you will become just like them. That's because energy, attitude, and habits are contagious. The way people think and act influences you more than you realize. Look at the most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders in the world. They're not alone. They have teams, mentors, and friends who inspire them, challenge them, and help them grow. They surround themselves with people who have high standards, who push them to improve, and who keep them accountable. If you want to achieve big things, you cannot do it alone. You need people who will guide you, support you, and even criticize you when necessary. One of the biggest mistakes people make is holding on to friendships or relationships that no longer help them grow. It is not easy to let go of people, especially those you have known for a long time. But ask yourself, are the people around you helping you move forward, or are they holding you back? Do they encourage you to take risks and pursue your dreams, or do they fill your mind with doubts and negativity? Do they celebrate your success, or do they secretly hope you fail? The answers to these questions will tell you if you need to make a change. This doesn't mean you should cut off everyone who is struggling. Success is not just about surrounding yourself with a rich or famous. It's about being with people who have the right mindset. Someone might not be successful yet, but if they are hardworking, optimistic, and eager to grow, they are the right kind of person to have in your life. On the other hand, even if someone is wealthy but always negative, complaining, or dishonest, they will only bring you down. You must also learn to seek mentors, people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. A mentor's advice can save you years of mistakes. They can show you shortcuts, teach you lessons, and give you guidance that you would never find on your own. But remember, the best mentors do not just tell you what you want to hear. They challenge you, correct you, and push you beyond your limits. Another key point, be willing to let go of toxic relationships. If someone is constantly draining your energy, filling your mind with negativity, or preventing you from growing, you must have the courage to walk away. Some people will not understand your vision. Some will doubt you, and some may even try to stop you. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever, and that's okay. At the same time, remember to be the right kind of person for others. You cannot expect to attract hardworking, positive, and successful people if you are constantly complaining, gossiping, or wasting time. Improve yourself, and you will attract people who match your energy. In the end, success is not just about what you do, it's also about who you do it with. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in you. Find those who push you to be your best, and in return, be someone who lifts others up. Your circle will either make you or break you, so choose wisely. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The world is changing faster than ever, and the skills, knowledge, and strategies that worked yesterday might be useless. Tomorrow, If you want to stay ahead, you must commit to lifelong learning. Knowledge is not something you gain once and keep forever. It is something you must continuously seek, update, and expand. Many people make the mistake of thinking that learning ends when they finish school. They believe that once they get a degree or a job, they no longer need to study or improve. But the truth is, formal education is just the beginning. The real learning starts when you step into the real world. The most successful people are not the ones who know everything from the start. They're the ones who never stop learning, adapting, and improving themselves. Look at the most successful business leaders, athletes, and innovators. They are always reading, asking questions, experimenting, and seeking new knowledge. Elon Musk, despite running multiple billion-dollar companies, still reads and learns about new fields like artificial intelligence, space exploration, and renewable energy. Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest investors, spends about 80% of his day reading and learning. These people are at the top of their industries, yet they continue to learn as if they are just getting started. On the other hand, look at people who struggle in life. Many of them stopped learning a long time ago. They use the same skills, the same thinking, and the same knowledge they acquired years ago, expecting different results. They don't read books, they don't seek mentors, and they don't try to improve themselves. Eventually, they become outdated, stuck in the past, and left behind by those who kept learning. In today's world, knowledge is more valuable than ever. Technology is advancing rapidly. New industries are emerging and job markets are constantly evolving. If you rely only on what you learned years ago, you will fall behind. The people who succeed are those who are willing to learn new skills, adapt to new environments, and stay curious. One of the biggest advantages of learning is that it gives you confidence. When you know more, you feel more capable, you can make better decisions, solve bigger problems, and take smarter risks. Whether you are an entrepreneur, an employee, or a student, continuous learning will give you an edge over others. But learning is not just about reading books or taking courses. It is also about learning from experiences, mistakes, and people around you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn. Every failure teaches you a lesson. Every conversation with a knowledgeable person expands your thinking. The key is to have a mindset that sees learning everywhere. If you want to grow, make learning a daily habit. Read books that expand your knowledge. Listen to podcasts or watch videos that teach you new ideas. Surround yourself with people who challenge you intellectually. Ask questions, seek mentors, and never be afraid to admit that you don't know something. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. Success in today's world is not just about having a job and following orders. It's about having the right mindset, one that allows you to create value, solve problems, and take ownership of your work. Many people think that entrepreneurship is only for business owners, but that's not true. Even if you work for someone else, thinking like an entrepreneur will set you apart and open doors to bigger opportunities. Entrepreneurs don't wait for instructions. They take initiative. They don't just focus on completing tasks. They look for ways to improve things. They don't fear risks. They see them as opportunities. Imagine if you applied this mindset to your job instead of just doing what you're told. What if you look for ways to make your company more successful? What if you treated your job as if it were your own business? The moment you start thinking like an entrepreneur, you become more valuable and success will follow. Most employees think their job is just a paycheck. They do the minimum required, avoid extra responsibilities, and complain about their bosses. But this way of thinking will never lead to real growth. The people who get promoted, who earn more, and who become leaders are those who take ownership of their work. They don't just follow the job description, they go beyond it. They think about how to increase profits, improve efficiency, and create better system. When you think like an entrepreneur, your company's success becomes your success, and that's when opportunities start coming your way. Take a look at some of the most successful business leaders today. Many of them started as employees, but they treated their jobs like their own businesses. Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, was not the founder of the company. He was an employee, but he saw potential in Starbucks that others didn't. Instead of just doing his job, he thought like an entrepreneur. He had a vision, took risks, and eventually transformed Starbucks into a global brand. If he had just done the bare minimum, he would have remained just another employee. One of the key differences between an employee mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset is how they see problems. An employee sees a problem and complains about it. An entrepreneur sees a problem and looks for a solution. If you apply this to your job, you will stand out immediately. Companies need problem solvers, not complainers. If you become someone who finds solutions instead of making excuses, you will become indispensable. Another important trait of entrepreneurs is adaptability. The world is changing fast, and those who resist change will be left behind. If you think like an entrepreneur, you will always be learning new skills, adapting to new trends, and looking for better ways to do things. Many employees stay in their comfort zones and refuse to learn beyond their job roles, but those who take the initiative to upscale, innovate, and think ahead are the ones who move up the ladder. Thinking like an entrepreneur also means taking responsibility. Many employees blame their bosses, their coworkers, or even the economy for their lack of progress. Entrepreneurs don't make excuses. They take control of their own success. If you adopt this mindset, you'll stop waiting for opportunities to come to you. You will create them if you are not growing in your job. Don't blame your company. Ask yourself, what can I do to make myself more valuable? What skills can I learn? How can I contribute more? Your mindset will shape your life. If you think like everyone else, you will live like everyone else, but if you think differently, you will achieve things others can only dream of. So stop waiting, stop complaining, stop fearing, stop thinking correctly. And when you do, the world will open its doors for you.
Thank you.